We ask the question.
What is needed in the world?
Is that going to
It has been a remarkable week of rapid change in Guatemala. The people in this Central American republic witnessing the resignation of its president, only to see him appear in court facing corruption charges before being taken into custody. Then a few days later, a presidential election where a TV comedian faced off against several candidates also accused of corruption. And all of this accompanied by cheers from the protest movement that has finally pushed this country to face up to years of government mismanagement. Tens of thousands of people had, for the past 5 months, taken to the streets in peaceful demonstrations, and now they've got what they were calling for. Their former president, Otto Perez Molina, in court over his alleged involvement in a massive corruption scandal dubbed La Línea, or The Line, in which importers gave bribes to avoid paying customs charges. The inquiry continues until the judge decides whether a full trial should go ahead. Mr. Perez says he is innocent. The new interim president, Alejandro Maldonado, also backs the charges. He was the vice president who only took office in May when his predecessor resigned after accusations that she too was involved in La Línea. He will hold office for 133 days until a new president is chosen in runoff elections later this fall. Corruption charges are certainly not new in Guatemala, nor in Central and Latin America as a whole. But because the popular uprising had such a dramatic effect, leaders and people in many countries in the region are paying attention. President Maldonado called on protesters to remain vigilant and not to stop. This is an opportunity, he said. They cannot relax. Today on Talk to Al Jazeera, we sit down with the new interim president of Guatemala, and then a leader of the protest movement who tells us in his own words how they moved their country.
Mr. President, thank you very much for joining us here on Al Jazeera, and obviously what's a very busy week for Guatemala and for you personally. When you woke up on Monday morning, Tuesday morning, did you in your wildest dreams think you would end the week being president of your country?
En realidad el presidente me había dicho su deseo de renunciar antes de someterse al tribunal. Y en consecuencia solo era cuestión de horas para que esa decisión fuera consumada. Estaba yo preparado, aunque no lo deseaba vehementemente, puesto que solo había yo aceptado ir a la vicepresidencia como un significado de continuidad constitucional. Pero cuando llega el desafío, tengo que tomarlo.
You've got 133 days in office. What can you do in that time? What will you do in that time before you have to leave office in January?
Mucho, 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 porque nosotros tenemos el deber de reanimar el país hacia la confianza, que crea en sus instituciones. Y estoy en capacidad de querer formar un gobierno con gente madura, experimentada, conocida, y de una solvencia notable, pero también incorporar grupos jóvenes de activistas sociales, de politólogos, sociólogos jóvenes que acaban de salir de las universidades y queremos darles una oportunidad que asuman cargos de responsabilidad ejecutiva para que empiecen a desarrollarse y tener opciones Guatemala para el futuro.
On Monday, you've asked the cabinet to resign and to choose, so you can choose a new government. Why did you do that?
Precisamente porque el país está reclamando cambios, nueva imagen, nueva disposición y consecuentemente no prejuzga sobre los ministros y los funcionarios, pero creo que es necesario rejuvenecer, replantear un rostro distinto.
The country's been talking a lot about impunity and corruption in Guatemala. how can you be sure that the new people you choose, will be clean, will be free of corruption?
Por dos razones, porque pienso invitar a personas que ya han pasado por el servicio público y están solventes, y pienso invitar a jóvenes que no han estado en el servicio público, consecuentemente llegan sanos. Creo que el riesgo de que la corrupción se repita a estos niveles alarmantes es difícil, porque el colapso que se ha sufrido es suficiente preventivo para que por mucho tiempo les dure el terror de que no deben abusar de los recursos del país.
Is Guatemala in crisis, or is what's happened this week a sign that things are actually getting better?
En realidad, si consideramos como crisis esos vientos de cambio, los vientos de protesta y de cólera de la sociedad, claro que hay crisis, pero los indicadores económicos son positivos, y sobre todo comparado con otros países del área, los registros son buenos, pero la mayor significación que contradice la crisis es que todo fue pacífico, sin violencia. Da parte de los manifestantes fue un espectáculo hermoso, nunca visto. Eran banderas y no palos. Y por el otro lado, el gobierno mantuvo una posición muy moderada.
It was reported that your relationship with the former president, Otto Pérez, was not especially good one. Was that the case?
Bueno, muy reservada en cuanto yo no pertenecía a su partido, ni he tenido una relación muy continuada con él, pero yo fui electo por el Congreso, propuesto en una terna, pero en un momento en que los diputados también querían un cambio de perfil y confiaron en mí, tal vez por mi historial de muchos años de presencia pública en Guatemala, que he salido bien calificado por mis conciudadanos.
You're going to have to choose a new vice president. What are the qualities you will look for in your choice?
Cabalmente he propuesto unos perfiles de académicos, ex rectores de universidades, pero con servicio público. Y también de una dama, una mujer muy significada, con muy buena proyección por su acción social y sus relaciones con el mundo internacional. Yo me esmeré de proponer 3 nombres sin importarme a quién eligen, que el Congreso decida a uno de los 3 que siempre será bueno.
We've seen in the last few months the role that the Guatemalan people have played in Guatemala and in national politics, in their attitude and what they thought about politicians and the corruption and the impunidad. What role do the Guatemalan people have to play in building the future?
Que yo he prevenido, no vuelvan a dormirse, no descansen, no cesen su actividad fiscalizadora, los medios de prensa que hagan las denuncias y que el pueblo los acompañe. Si vuelven a dormirse, la corrupción volverá, porque esa es una plaga que se enreda siempre en todo lugar.
We've seen the role that the International Commission Against Impunity has played in recent politics here. Is there a role for international bodies, other countries, in Guatemala's future?
CICIG es producto de un acuerdo internacional entre Naciones Unidas y Guatemala, y creo que es un fenómeno único en el mundo. Y este CICIG tuvo lugar porque la Corte Constitucional, en un dictamen que yo firmé, aprobó que funcionara en Guatemala y consideramos que no viola la soberanía del país. Es un buen experimento, no va a durar toda la vida. Algún momento tendrá que terminar sus funciones, pero por ahora creo que es un buen vigilante y ayuda mucho a la transparencia en Guatemala.
You've mentioned young people a few times, and I see that you've opened a Twitter account. Can you explain your reasoning behind that?
Bueno, en realidad yo he apoyado siempre a la juventud en programas para la juventud, por la educación, por la recreación y por la presencia de los jóvenes. Y ahora que estoy en la presidencia, pues aprovecharé para impulsar más la confianza que debemos guardar en nuestras nuevas generaciones.
How do you feel personally about the challenges that face you in the next few weeks?
Sí, yo creo que el liderazgo que puede ejercer la presidencia debe ser positivo, convocando, haciendo participar y dando ejemplo. Son 130 días, pero son suficientes para sentar parámetros y hacer las plataformas de transición al nuevo gobierno.
What are the biggest challenges that face you personally in the next few weeks?
Realmente tenemos problemas muy serios por la sequía, el cambio climático. Ha afectado a miles y miles de campesinos que perdieron sus cosechas. Tenemos problemas de nutrición de la niñez y también el tema de las vacunas. Claro que tenemos algunos recursos, pero aún falta componer la dinámica de su entrega y el servicio. En este sentido es prioridad nuestra la vida humana de los más necesitados que están identificados en zonas específicas. Pero también tenemos que componer los recursos del Estado que cayeron por el problema de la corrupción, por el problema de la moral tributaria y por la inequidad tributaria que hay en Guatemala desde siglos.
And the problem of drug trafficking?
Esos son unos malos espíritus corruptores y es necesario que haya un concierto internacional, especialmente de cooperación de Estados Unidos y otros países para que nos ayuden a combatirlos, porque combatimos nosotros a esas plagas también en beneficio de países consumidores.
How do you see the future, the immediate future in Guatemala? Do you approach it with great optimism?
Tenemos que ser optimistas, tenemos que entender, tenemos un territorio pródigo, estamos cerca de las grandes potencias consumidoras, salidas a ambos mares, un territorio que puede ser muy fértil, habitantes suficientes para trabajar y producir. Tenemos que ser optimistas. Lo que nos ha faltado es un liderazgo positivo de traslape de partidos políticos responsables del desarrollo y del futuro. Cada 4 años cambiamos partido y no hemos aprendido a tener grandes núcleos ideológicos que capitalicen la opinión política del país en alternativas claras: socialdemocracia, liberal democracia.
There's a big problem with immigration, people leaving Guatemala, especially for the United States. What needs to be done to solve that problem?
Estoy esperando una llamada que me anunciaron de Joe Biden, vicepresidente de Estados Unidos, que está impulsando el plan de la prosperidad. Creo que es uno de los elementos que puede ayudar a que el empleo se radique en Guatemala y que no tengan que partir hacia los Estados Unidos a buscarlo. Es un problema que se ha vuelto de carácter mundial. En casi todas las vecindades de países desarrollados está abriéndose una corriente migratoria que quiere ir a ocupar empleos y bienestar que ya lo tienen allá. Este es un afán muy humano y el ser humano en ese sentido no tiene patria, pero sí tenemos nosotros que crear los elementos clave en nuestro propio país para retenerlos. Entre esos la democracia, que tiene mucha significación, pero también la justicia, que haya igualdad de oportunidades, se mejore la educación para que la gente prefiera quedarse en su país y no que emigre lesionando su propia integridad familiar.
I see in the short time I've been here that many people we've spoken to seem to have lost faith in politics and politicians. Is there anything you can do to try to recover that faith in the system?
Bueno, son problemas recurrentes que se dan en toda sociedad. Yo recuerdo las protestas de los 60 en California y en París, y se fue recomponiendo a través de que estas nuevas generaciones se incorporaron a la vida política. Acá, lógicamente, lo que ha habido a veces es una exclusividad política de grupos que no responden a parámetros ideológicos, sino parámetros materiales, personales. creo que sí puede despertarse en Guatemala un nuevo civismo que es el de gobierno ejemplar. A eso creemos y pretendemos ser un gobierno ejemplar. 130 días, pero 130 días de transparencia y honestidad. Y eso puede abrir cauces para el futuro.
Well, the question really is whether what's happening in Guatemala now can have an impact, an influence on other countries in Central America.
Bueno, yo deseo para Centroamérica la mayor estabilidad y que entiendan todos que la estabilidad se consigue con coherencia, respetando la democracia y respetando los valores fundamentales, la honestidad sobre todo, eficiencia, capacidad, ejemplar. Si en otros países se suscitan problemas, ojalá que se resuelvan siempre por la vía pacífica como en Guatemala está resultando.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and good luck for the future. Thank you.
It is important to make clear that none of the charges that brought President Maldonado to office would have happened without the loud and persistent work of a protest movement. It has rocked this country since April. How did they do it? And what will happen next? We'll now let one of the leaders tell us in his words their side of the story.
My name is Gabriel Huer from Justicia Ya, which means justice now. No one expected that citizens would protest. We were used to not saying anything. We've been a very silent country. We're used to not saying, we're used to not speaking our minds publicly because of the conflict that we had for 36 years, where people were killed or kidnapped because they spoke what they thought. And that's changing, and that was a first, and that it was a peaceful protest. People also weren't expecting that, because usually what we think of someone protesting is someone that's not doing something right, there's something rather wrong, or even vandalism. And that also changed, that perception changed. And that took everyone by surprise, including the vice president, including other key players in the political scene here in Guatemala. I think there were three things that helped achieving that. The first one is that corruption is something that everyone disagrees with. At least most people disagree with. So it didn't matter if you were right, left, from the country or from the city, or what age group. We were all just fed up of corruption in the government. So that was something that really unified us, because we didn't. Other subjects or the other issues here in the country, they tend to divide us. But corruption was something that we just agreed that we didn't want it. The second thing was that the vice president herself, the former vice president, was a very controversial person. The way she spoke to media, the way she spoke to people, the way she behaved publicly, and a couple of other things that happened in the past few months and the past few years helped people just to say we have enough of her and the way she handles things. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is that we're a much more connected society. We're a young society, and that also helped in just coming together and demanding for corruption to stop here in our country. Social media has been key in the way that it all started there. It all started Facebook. We met through Facebook, and we created the first event inviting people to the protest through Facebook and Twitter, and then the traditional media started sharing what we were doing, and that had this effect that it just went viral. So that's been very important. It's the way that not only have we been inviting people to protest, but we've also connecting different groups, different places geographically, even Guatemalans that live abroad or in the United States or somewhere else. They have been supporting through social media with videos and photos and organizing small events in the Guatemalan embassies. So it's been very important.
Although Guatemala is a violent country for its size, all of the dramatic changes here took place without a single shot being fired.
We were fed up of violence, and I think we've been also very very firm about peace, about doing this peacefully. We've seen where violence takes us. We've seen it in the past. That's the whole this 36-year conflict is. We ended up with a lot of deaths and a lot of damage. So we want to do things differently, and I think it was a very good way to do that, was this through these protests. So we're all in a way surprised that things have worked this way, but we're just tired of violence. We don't want that anymore. I think in a way it was affirmation that we could do something as Guatemalans. If we speak our mind peacefully together, we can change things. We can have our government do what we tell them to do, and not the other way around. So it was a big confidence boost for all of us to see that if we speak our mind, if we say if we demand things that are within the law and our constitution, we can get them. We can have them. So that was one huge consequence of the vice president resigning or stepping down. On one hand, it was a bit disappointing and sad to see our president being involved in all this, in all these corruption scandals, because we voted for him. He was our president, and then there he was, just having to face justice. But on the other hand, it's proof that our institutions can work, and it's proof that we as Guatemalans have to demand our institutions to work the way they're supposed to work. And there's good people there. There's good people, starting with the Attorney General, with Thelma Aldana. I think her work has been just incredible. And we as Guatemalans need to support that, need to publicly say that we back her, and we back the whole team that's working with her. And those sort of things are the things that need to change. And seeing the president in that state, it's not something that we can say we can celebrate, because that wouldn't be correct, but we can celebrate justice being made in a way that we always wanted to see. I feel proud of what we as citizens have achieved. I also feel a lot of hope that things are going to change, progress and evolve into the country and society that a lot of us dream of, and that we've seen in other countries and say, well, why don't we have that here? Why isn't it possible for Guatemala to be? We have everything we need. So I feel, I'm hopeful that we can do that. I'm very optimistic about that, because I see attitudes starting to change, to shift to a more positive vision for our country, and that's something that's really hard to change. But in 4 or 5 months, we've seen that change, and that's something to be very proud of as a country.